So here it is. We have episode 2 of Konosuba that has come out actually early, which is a good thing. The problem is the fact that we won't get another episode 3, for 2 weeks. So that sucks, but it's okay. It's all right, because this episode was another very funny and very good episode that is just going to make the rest of the season even better in the long run. So here we are. Kazuma gets the invitation by the princess for him to come to a dinner party so he can share some stories of his adventure. And I gotta say, everyone actually cleaned up really nicely. Now, granted, there was a lot of funny moments as the girls were getting ready to get dressed for this event. Specifically, Megumin, because of Megumin's figure is not exactly as round as Aqua and Darkness. It was still hilarious. These characters have come a long way, and to be at this moment in time where they get to actually meet with royalty, you know what, props to them. But at least they actually came out looking very nice, very good, and supposedly on their best behavior, supposedly. Now, as we all know, with this crew, definitely things are not going to go as planned. And they're, you know, not necessarily going to be on the best behavior that you would think. Now, of course, Darkness being nobility herself, she's trying to educate them, like, look, you got to act a certain way when you're dealing with a princess here, because they can do whatever they want. But of course, that doesn't stop our crew from being our crew, and hijinks pursue. Now, granted, they were able to kind of get it in on the princess due to Aqua and her party tricks. You know, make the princess a little happy, accepting. As the dinner party's going on, they're, you know, the stories they hear, they're very impressed with Kazuma, especially the fact he beat the hero that they like even higher than him. But, you know, they're like, hey, why don't you show us your adventure card? Well, Kazuma doesn't want to show his adventure card because of certain items and things that's actually on there. So he's like, yeah, about that though. By doing so, Darkness basically was like, oh yeah, he's not really that skilled. That's why he doesn't want to show it. Which makes them think that he's lying about all these stories that he's coming out with. Of course, especially his duel with the hero, Mitsurugi. Well, that's not a lie. There's a lot of witnesses that saw him fight said hero. Now, granted, the story might be a little embellished, but he did do it. Lo and behold, later, they're like, all right, get out, go away, you're a liar. And, you know, makes Kazuma actually feel pretty bad. Now, here's where I believe Kazuma's character has developed, because season 1 old Kazuma probably would have went off on the princess no matter what and was like, you know what, I'm not lying, I'm telling the truth. Because you got to remember, he just died and came back to this world through the whole tractor incident. I fully believe that season 1 Kazuma would have went off on the princess no matter what. Now, probably he could have had some issues there, but he kind of was like, well, fine, whatever, I'm just gonna leave. And it took our girl Megumi to show Darkness how, you know, what they have said is rude to Kazuma, but you know what? I'm gonna be the big girl and not actually say what I wanna say for Darkness's sake. And that made Darkness really think about it. It's like, dang, you know what? I gotta step up here, because that is rude. Honestly, Darkness steps up in a big way. Here it is, of all the people to do something rude, you have Darkness literally slaps the princess. And it was like, what you said was not right. You brought this person, Kazuma, to tell you stories, and then you're just going to say rude things to him? You need to apologize for what you've done. And she slaps the princess, blocks a sword with her arm. Now, granted, we all know Darkness is a very tough character, and so taking a shot like that is not a big deal. I mean, honestly, yes, she got cut and she was bleeding, but it wasn't even anything that bad. She's taken bigger hits in the actual we've seen in the show and survived than to take a sword with no armor to the arm. So she's perfectly fine. But honestly, this moment right here was actually, I think, a step up for Darkness, because here she is, instead of looking at it through princess eyes and a noble's eyes, it's like she's taking it as an older person to a younger person who's like, look, what you've done is wrong and you need to deal with that. So it's really a step up out of any of these characters as far as their thought process. And I'm actually glad that Darkness, through Megami and through her friends, was able to actually, this whole episode, she's been saying, you guys gotta be polite. You could die. Be polite. Yet she's the one that does the most egregious thing, and actually everything ended up being okay. So in the end, the princess is able to apologize to Kazuma, and then actually starts to look up to Kazuma, because you can kind of tell, like, she's really, instead of before, they're all about Mitsurugi was the big guy. He was the one that, you know, they found attractive, and it's like, man, how could you beat this guy? But then through the end of it, you can see the princess is like, Mitsurugi who? And it's all endearing onto Kazuma, which led to a kidnapping. Here it was that Kazuma said when they were getting ready, he was kind of telling the girls like, hey girls, you know, you gotta be prepared for the moment when I may not return because the princess may like me so much, I'm just gonna have to move in and I won't be here anymore. And of course, you know, this is Kazuma, and the girls are like, really? What thought process have you gone so far to think that something like that's gonna happen? Well, that really happened. Blood just got literally kidnapped. When he was straight up, was like, you know, everything was all nice. They're saying their goodbyes. He's like telling, like, yeah, I'll tell you stories in the future until we meet again, you know, being polite, nice. You know, they're about to teleport away, and the princess is like, oh yeah, about those stories, I wasn't kidding. I didn't mean in the future. I meant like right now. So she just straight up grabs them and they all teleport away. I know it didn't show the expression, but I know Aqua, Darkness, and several others are probably like, what just happened? Because Kazuma straight up is feeling that way. The fact that they get teleported to the castle immediately, he literally said it was going to happen, and it happened. And now it's like, wait a minute, this actually really happened? Okay. So now the princess is endearing to him, wants to hear more stories. I think at this moment, she, through the process and through everything that happened, I think she might be having a crush on Kazuma right now. Now, Kazuma did say in the past, you know, the beginning of the episode, that he'd think it would be pretty cool if she looked down on him like a big brother type deal. So we'll see if that actually happens or not. But you know what? In all the long and short of it, Kazuma kind of got what he wanted, and you know, and so he got to the castle, and he is away from the girls. He, you know, has money. He's rich through his dealings with the shops and all the stuff that he's done. I mean, on paper, he's like a hero. He has money. He's saved the kingdom multiple times. He's taken out several of the demon lords. But in actual reality, there's a lot of things that are kind of loose here. Being a teenager, wanting to do his things and want to do what he wants to do, and kind of a little bit of a womanizer, kind of having bad luck go his way. It is Kazuma. So great show, very funny. It sucks that I gotta wait another 2 weeks before I get another episode when we find what in the world has happened and what happens now that he's at the castle. But we shall see. We shall see in the long run. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Great show. I absolutely love it. I'm glad Konosuba's back. It's starting out strong. These have been a great first 2 episodes. I just can't wait for more. But definitely make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys are subscribed for more, because we'll definitely be discussing this and several others here on the channel. You guys be safe, take care, and Lord willing, I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now. Make sure to check out the extra content on our Patreon page, and thanks to our current patrons.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.